Yes. So hello student. So last lecture I have ended up with the concept of divide and conquer algorithm, and I have discussed algorithms like binary search, merge sort, and quick sort, which are based upon the principle of divide and conquer. So today class will start with a new algorithm design strategy that is known as dynamic programming. So this dynamic programming, it's like divide and conquer, solve the problem by combining the solution to sub problem, right? So we cannot solve the whole problem altogether. Rather, we'll divide our problem into small sub problems. So we'll try to find the optimal solution to all the smaller sub problem. Then in bottom up fashion we'll combine the individual sub problem solution to get the final optimal solution. So that optimal solution, it can be either some maximum value or minimum value. For example, we want to uh, get the name of the student having highest mark. So in that case, optimal value means the maximum value. And similarly, we want to uh, get the name of the student with highest rank. So in that case, optimal value means the minimum value, right? Okay. So now let us see what are the design elements or the steps involved in dynamic programming algorithm. So first is we have to characterize the structure of the optimal solution. Then next we have to recursively define the value of the optimal solution. Then we have to compute the value of optimal solution, typically in bottom up fashion. Then finally we will combine up or we will sum up all these things to obtain the final solution, right? So the best example of this, or one of the best application of this dynamic programming approach, is matrix chain multiplication, right? So in matrix chain multiplication, what happens? A sequence of matrices will be given, right? Like A1, A2 up to An. So we need to multiply this chain, right? So this chain multiplication is possible if the column of this matrix is same as the row of this matrix. Similarly, the column of this matrix should be same as the row of A3 and so on, right? So it means a n cross p matrix can be multiplied with a p cross r matrix to yield n cross r matrix, right? So now, so as we know, this matrix multiplication is associative. It means if we want to perform multiplication of matrix A1, A2 and A3, right? So it can be multiplied in two ways. First, we can have that parenthesization like A1 into A2 first into A3, or in other way we can write like that: A2 into A3, we'll do it first, then we'll multiply A1 into that result, right? So now if we are having this sequence A1 to A3, then we will have two possible parenthesization, right? And both will yield same result, right? But in terms of computation time, they will be different, right? So in what way we have to parenthesize the order of the chain of matrix so that the result can be obtained with minimum time, or it can be obtained in minimum number of scalar multiplications, right? Okay. So now let us see, before going into depth, let us see what is a fully parenthesized matrix. So if we are having a single matrix, it is a fully parenthesized matrix, or a product of two fully parenthesized matrix surrounded by a parenthesis, right? So if we have a sequence like A1, A2, A3, A4, then we can fully parenthesize the multiplication of this sequence in this way. These are all possible ways, right? We can parenthesize A3, A4 first, then we can parenthesize A2 into this whole thing, then we will parenthesize this thing into this whole thing. Similarly, we can parenthesize this first, then we can combine this then. Okay, so these are the all possible way by which this sequence A1 to A4 can be parenthesized. Okay, so all will yield the same result, right? But thing is that in terms of computation time, they will vary, right? So all these parenthesization will take different time, right? So in this case, our target is to how to parenthesize the sequence to obtain the multiplication result with fewer number of scalar multiplication or with minimum computer time, right? So we'll see, right, applying dynamic programming approach, how we can parenthesize the thing, right? Okay, so now this is the simple algorithm, you know, to find multiplication of two matrices. So let's say A and B are two matrices. So already I have told you this matrix multiplication A and B is possible if column of A is equal to row of B. So if column of A is not equal to row of B, then we are just printing a message incompatible dimensions, means matrix multiplication is not possible. So if they are equal, then else part will execute, and C is the matrix which will store, right, the product of matrix A and B, right? So this is the earlier algorithm I have told many times. So you take three loops, I equal to 1 to this number of rows in A, j equal to 1 to number of column in B, then k equal to 1 to, okay. So this is the main logic. Cij equal to Cij plus Aik plus into Bkj, right? So here we can mark one thing. If we are multiplying a 3 cross 4 matrix with 4 cross 5 matrix, then the result will be a 3 cross 5 matrix, right? So now before going into the solution of this matrix parenthesization using dynamic approach, let me take an example. So let us consider three matrices A1, A2 and A3 having dimension 10 cross 100, 100 cross 5 and 5 cross 50. So you can mark here A1 column is 100 but A2 row is 100. A2 column is 5. Okay. So now if these things will deviate, then matrix multiplication is not possible, right? So now this A1, A2, A3 can be parenthesized in two ways. First we can do one thing, A1 into A2, that will be multiplied with A3, or we can do like that, A2 into A3 first, then A1 will be multiplied to that A2 into A3. So now let us see this particular way of parenthesization take how many scalar multiplication or how much computation time. Then we will see this will require how many scalar multiplication and how much computation time, right? So now if we are taking this A1 into A2, so A1 into A2 means A1 dimension is 10 into 100 and A2 dimension is 100 into 5. So they will take how many scalar multiplication? 10 into 100 into 5. Okay, so don't take this twice. So you can just verify. If we are multiplying 2 3 cross 3 matrix, then the total number of scalar multiplication will be 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27, right? Because for each term you will have 3 terms, right? So how many terms are there? 9 terms. So 9 into 3 is 27, right? So similarly for this multiplication will require how many scalar multiplication? 10 into 100 into 5, so it is 5000. Okay, so now this result A1 into A2 is a which cross which matrix? 10 cross 5, right? It is a 10 cross 5 matrix which will be multiplied with 5 cross 50 matrix. So it will require how many multiplication? 10 into 5 into 50, that is 2500. So total number of scalar multiplication required in this case with this parenthesization is 7500, right? So now we'll see the second parenthesization. So in this case A2 into A3 first. So A2 into A3 means it will require how many scalar multiplication? 100 into 5, it is 500 into 50, it is 25,000. Okay, so now this whole thing will be multiplied with this. So it will be 10 cross So this result is what? 100 cross 50. So it will be 10 cross 100 into 50. So it is 50,000. So total number of scalar multiplication required is 25,000 plus 50,000. It is 75,000. Right. So now both these things will lead the same multiplication result. Okay. So in this matrix multiplication, chain multiplication, we are not bothered about getting the matrix multiplication result. Rather, we are bothered about finding the result with minimum time or minimum number of scalar multiplication. Right. So this particular way of parenthesization is taking this much number of scalar multiplication, and this way of parenthesization is taking this much number of scalar multiplication. Okay. So more operation means more time. So it will be taking more time. Second way. So I think it is almost 10 times this thing. Okay. So if the time required by this way of parenthesization is x, so obviously it will be 10x. Okay. So obviously our optimal result should be this one. Okay. So now how to get this thing using dynamic program approach, right? So already a1 into a3 is 10 times faster than this one, right? Already told you, when p cross q matrix is multiplied with q cross r matrix, the resultant matrix is a p cross r matrix, and it requires how many number of scalar multiplication? P into q into r, right? Okay. So now let us see the matrix chain multiplication in general, right? So let us consider a sequence a1 to an, where so in general you can say it is a sequence of matrix ai. I varies from 1 to n, right? And each ai has the dimension or has the order pi minus 1 cross pi. So I varies from 1 to n means a1 will have the dimension p0 cross p1, a2 will have the dimension p1 cross p2, right? And similarly an will have the dimension pn minus 1 cross pn. Okay. So if this is the sequence of matrices, then the sequence of order will be p0 to pn. It will be p0 to p1 such that a1 dimension will be p0 cross p1, a2 dimension will be p1 cross p2, right? Okay. So already told you, in matrix and multiplication we are not actually multiplying the matrices. Rather our goal is to only determine the order of multiplying the matrices, or the way in which we have to parenthesize the matrices in order to find the multiplication result in minimum time or with fewer number of scalar multiplications, right? So now let us define this parameter pn. Okay, so let's say pn define what? The parenthesization of a sequence of how many matrices? N matrix. So pn means parenthesization of how many matrix? N matrix, right? So now you just think, if there are only one matrix, if there is only one matrix, okay, so no need of any parenthesization. Okay, so we can say pn is equal to 1 if n is equal to 1, right? So now if n is greater than equal to 2 means if the number of matrices is more than 2, then we have to go for parenthesization, right? So it is like that. If we are doing the parenthesization around the point k, so if one part will be k, then another part will be what? N minus k, and that k varies from 1 to n minus 1. Okay. So now this is our matrix chain multiplication problem, sequence of matrix with their order. Target is to parenthesize the sequence which will yield the multiplication with minimum number of scalar multiplication or in minimum time, right? So now let us apply that dynamic programming approach. So it consists of 4 steps. Okay, so in the first step we have to characterize the structure of the problem, right? So now let's say if there is a sequence ai to aj such that I is less than j, means a1 a2 a3 up to, okay, so if I is 2 and j is 5, so it will be like a2 a3 a4 a5, like that. So if this is the sequence, so at any position I can parenthesize, right? If I am starting from this 2 to 5, so I can parenthesize at position 4 or at position 3. Okay, so let's say the optimal position of the parenthesization is at point k. Okay, so if we are parenthesizing at index k, then it will be divided into 2 subpart. So one part will be ai to ak, another part will be ak plus 1 to aj, such that the value of k lies between I and j, and it can be same as I. Be careful this point. So it is always, k value is always less than j, but it can be same as I. Okay, so if the optimum point of parenthesization is point k, then this whole list ai to aj can be divided into ai to ak and another list ak plus 1 to aj, right? So this way we can characterize our chain multiplication. So now next is we have to find a recursive solution to our problem, right? So now let us take a parameter, what, mij, right? So mij denote, let's say denote the minimum number of scalar multiplication. So mij means it denote minimum number of scalar multiplication to multiply the sequence ai to aj, right? So now if there is only one matrix, then I will be j, means there is no sequence, so a1 I will, so if I equal printing mistake, so it will be if I equal to j, then the problem is trivial, means the fundamental problem. So we can write the sequence like ai to ai, that is equal to what, ai. So no multiplication is required because that is the result itself. If there is only one matrix, so no need to do any multiplication, that is the result itself. So what is the number of scalar multiplication required if there is only one matrix? No scalar multiplication, so mii equal to 0, right? So if there are only one matrix, then the minimum number of scalar multiplication required is 0, right? Second, so now in no case I cannot be greater than j, I cannot be greater than j, right? Because this is sequence like a1 a2 a3 up to n, so I has to be always less than j. So second case is I less than j. So if I is less than j, right, and we are doing that division around any point k where k lies between I and j, then we can write the cost will be mij will be what mik is the, again what, the minimum number of scalar multiplication required to multiply the sequence I to k, and this is the minimum number of scalar multiplication required to multiply the sequence k plus 1 to j, and this is the number of multiplication required to do the multiplication around the point k, around the point k, right? So now recursively we can define like this. Okay, so now this k value can vary from I to j, but less than j. So we can have many options for this value of k. So this mi result can be many, right, when I is less than j. So in that case we have to just check, pick the minimum value, right? So recursive solution is very simple. mij equal to 0 if I equal to j, means if there is only one matrix, no need to go for multiplication. So there is no requirement for number of scalar multiplication, right? So it is 0, and for all other case it will be minimum of this thing, right? And this is algorithm, right, how to parenthesize and how to find the minimum number of scalar multiplication. So we'll go through this thing later on. First let me take an example, that will be more better. Okay, so finally we can just combine all the solution to get the final solution. So let us see actually. Okay, so we are given 5 matrices, sequence A1 to A5, and order given A1, A2 up to A5, having order 4 cross 10, 10 cross 3, 20 cross 7 respectively, right? So target is to parenthesize this, right? So now the dimension or the order of this matrix is P0 cross P1, this P1 cross P2, and so on, right? So we can say P0 is 4, P1 is 10, P2 is 3, P3 is 12, P4 is 20, and P5 is 7, right? And initially actually I have given the whole solution here. So initially assume that these things are empty, right? So don't place any value here, you just put dash 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 everywhere, right? Again here also you omit all these value. Okay, so this darkened side represent value of I cannot be greater than value of j, because that will not be a valid sequence, right? So either value of I will be same as j or value of I will be less than j. So already told you, if I equal to j means the sequence contain only one matrix. If there is only one matrix, no need for multiplication. So what will be that minimum cost mij? It will be 0. So for I equal to 0, it will be 0 0 0, right? Right. So initially you just fill up this and you just mark each of these entries as dash, right? Okay, assume that there are no things filled up here. Similarly this case also, all these are empty, right? Okay, so now we have to fill up all these things, right? Like M12, this is M13, this is M14, this is M15, M23, M24, M25. We have to fill up all these things, and like you have to fill up also this thing. This matrix is called what? Matrix M, which holds what? The minimum number of scalar multiplication, and this particular matrix hold the point around which we are making that parenthesization, right? So these things are empty. So let us start our problem. Just keep in your mind P0 to P5 value, this thing, and these two matrices are filled up like this. Darkened side all 0, and this is darkened, all rest are empty, right? So now we have to start filling like this: M12, M23, M34, M45. Okay, so parallelly we also fill up here S12, S23, S34, S45. So similarly then we will fill M13, M24, M25 here also. Then we will go for M14, M25. Then finally we will go for this, and this is our final result. We will see later on, right? So let us start from this point, right? So how to fill up this, or how to get this value as 180, right? So we will go for, so if we are writing M12, so I is what? 1, J is 2, and K value, or I have told you K value is greater than or equal to I and always less than J. So if I equal to 1, J equal to 2, so what are the possible value of K? Only one possible value, that is I equal to 1, right? Because it has to be less than J, so it cannot be 2. So K value is only one possible, that is 1. So we know the formula Mij equal to Mik plus Mk plus 1j plus Pi minus 1 into Pk into Pj. So just put the value. So it will be M11, because I equal to 1, K equal to 1, J equal to 2. M11 plus M22 plus P0 into P1 into P2. P0, P1, P2 value is given. What is the value of M11 given? 0. M22 value is 0. So 0 plus 0, 4 into 10 into 3, it is what? 120. Okay, so put the value here 120. Right. So similarly, this value you can find out. M23. How to get this value as 360? So M23 means I is 2, J is 3. And so K, only one possible value is allowed, that is K equal to 2, because K value has to be less than J. Right. So it will be Mij, apply the formula, M22 plus M33 plus P1 into P2 into P3. So we are getting 360 here. So similarly you can go for this. Okay, so this is one sequence, we can complete it easily, right? Yes, this is one sequence we have already completed. Okay, so now what are these values actually? Actually these are the values of K, means the point around which we are doing the parenthesization, right? So you can mark here, for this first entry the value of K is 1, for second it is 2, for third it is K equal to 3, for fourth it is K equal to 4. So we are just placing those values 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So now let us come to this sequence. This is important. This is M13. How to fill up this? So M13 means I value is 1, J value is 3, K value is, now you see two possible values we can assign to K. One is 1 because it can be same as I, another is 2 because 2 is less than 3. Okay, so in this case you have to find the value of M13 for K equal to 1. Again you have to find the value of M13 for K equal to 2. So for M equal to K equal to 1, M13 value is 840, and for K equal to 2, M13 value is what? 264. So out of this, which one is minimum? Because as per our algorithm, 264, right? So M13 will be 264, and around parenthesization is done around which point? For K equal to K, because this minimum value 264 we are getting for a K equal to 2, right? So you can check the table, 264 around K equal to 2, right? So similarly you can fill up all these values, you can just go through. Okay, I will share you this PDF in my Google Classroom, right? So now target is to fill up this. So for this particular field we will have 3 possible value of K, right? This again we will have 3 possible value of K. So just try to pick that value of K which require or which for which the value of Mij is minimum, right? And similarly for this last entry we will have 4 possible value of K. Okay, so you have to do the calculation M15 for K equal to 1, 2, 3 up to 4, right? So you just put the value which is minimum, right? So you can just check, you just check the last one for M equal to 1 to 5. We are taking 4 possible values, K equal to 1, K equal to 2, K equal to 3, K equal to 4. But which one is minimum? It is 1344, 1344 for K equal to 2. Okay, so you can place 1344 for K equal to 2. Okay, so once you have got these two matrices, M matrix represent the number of scalar multiplication required for a particular sequence, and this represent the index around which the parenthesization is done, right? So now let me clear you one thing, what and these entries actually represent, right? So these actually represent if I am taking this particular field, so this index is 1, 3. Okay, so it means to multiply the sequence A1 to A3 we require how many multiplications? 264 multiplications. Similarly, if I am taking this randomly, so it is what? 2 to 5. So to multiply the sequence of matrix from A2 to A5 we require how many matrix multiplication? 1, 3, 5, 0. but our target is to find the minimum scalar multiplication for the sequence a1 to a5 with the point at which the parenthesization will be done. So it is a1 to a5 parenthesization, so it will equal how many minimum scalar multiplication? 1 3 4 4, because a1 to a5. Okay, right. So we have got the number of scalar multiplication, but main target is to where to put the parenthesis, right? Okay, so now to get this minimum value 1344, let's see at which point you have to parenthesize. This matrix give you the position of k. So at which point? At point 2. So if initially this is the sequence, initially the parenthesization will be done around a1 to a2, 1 parenthesization, and a3 to a5. So this. So now this part is fully parenthesized, but this is not fully parenthesized. Okay, so again we have to parenthesize, but what is the sequence? A3 to a5. So this will require how many scalar multiplication? A3 to a5, it will require 1140 number of scalar multiplication, but around which point the parenthesization will be done? You just check here, around the point 4, right? So it will be like a3 into a4 into a5. So this is the final answer. This is how we have to parenthesize the sequence, matrix sequence a1 to a5 to get the multiplication result with fewer number of scalar multiplication, that is 1 3 4 4, right? So just keep in your mind this matrix M, already I have cited here again. This store the minimum number of scalar multiplication, and Sij store the value of k around which your parenthesization is done. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture. So today we have discussed the dynamic programming approach to design or to solve this matrix chain multiplication. Okay, so next class I shall be coming up with more application of this dynamic programming approach. So perhaps I shall start with the knapsack problem, how to solve knapsack problem using dynamic programming approach. Thank you all.